with a departure of May 23rd, 2018. We didn't get to leave in May because one of the guys had an unexpected illness. So we moved the plans to July the 16th after everything was, therapy was completed and good bill of health was given. As it turns out, when we were in Yellowstone talking with a fella July the 26th, he said there was tons of snow on the ground just a couple of weeks earlier, so May probably would have been a bad time to have been there. So we did a pre-ride and camped at the Blue Ridge Campground in Canton, North Carolina for 3 days. And that trip gave us a chance to test out our gear and help make sure that we had what we needed as far as supplies go. Who was going to carry the stove and who was going to carry a jack and that kind of stuff. So we left on July 16th and we made it as far as Chapin when Hank's bike started acting up. He just wouldn't go. So we sat around for a while and diagnosed that the ECM was bad. And we figured that out because it was doing the exact same thing that mine had done a couple of years earlier. So we nursed it back to the house. Hank gave Schroeder's a call up in Hendersonville, North Carolina. And they had the part, so we jumped in the car and took off for the 5-hour round trip. We had the rest of the day, right? Anyway, I got back and Hank went ahead and got the bike fixed that night. It takes 3 to 4 hours to change that thing. I've done it twice now. And we decided that we'd take a little 100-mile round trip on Tuesday. So we went over to Sumter and back, and everything worked out pretty good. So we called Wayne and we scheduled a ride to leave the next morning on the 18th. So we met at Bojangles again and left on the trip around 7 a.m. Now, you gotta understand, we didn't have an itinerary. We kept talking about, we'll sit down with a map and we'll figure out what we're gonna do, and shoot, time got on by us and we never did come up with a plan. So the initial piece of the trip was we were going to go to Rapid City, South Dakota and set up camp for 4 or 5 days and look around there. We'd take in a couple of the sites like Mount Rushmore, and after we did that, we decided, well, let's go to Cody, Wyoming and hang out there for 4 or 5 days and we'll figure out what to do from there. So as the trip progressed, it became clear we did not even have the route to get to Rapid City planned. We're just going to ride till we get there. Actually, it was pretty funny because a couple of times we looked at the map, we looked at the computer screens and decided to go that way. Or then, wait a minute, the GPS says go this way. So anyway, we finally made it there after a while. And you'll notice in the beginning of the movies, I had raised the windshield up on the bike to see if, running 70, 80 miles an hour, I thought maybe it would help a little bit with the buffeting of the wind. And then I realized after a couple days, I was looking through some of the video that I had taken that the curve in the windshield was in the way. So I dropped the windshield back down and just left it down. And turns out that didn't make any difference anyway. So I've created multiple videos and I'm going to put them in chronological order the best I can. Blending the phone pictures. Of course, everybody takes pictures with your phone. My handheld Canon video camera and the Drift HD 170 video camera I mount on the bike. Anyway, hey, I hope you enjoy the trip. I'm breaking back in here. I got this down to slow motion. You're kinda gonna have to pause it every once in a while. But if you look, there was one heck of a motorcycle wreck right here. Looks like a pack of dudes were coming down the road. Best we could see, because we didn't stop, was that there was 4 or 5 bikes in the ditch on the other side of the road. It looks like a multi-bike wreck, and something happened in the pack for sure. And boy, it wasn't pretty. Anyway, that's an example of slow motion I'm pulling on you. mile after mile after mile. This is what it looks like when you're riding across the flatlands, plain states. See the little trees off there at the side? You generally can count on there's going to be a creek, a little house, might even be a little town. Towns are far and few between. But this is what you do all day long in order to get over there. You just set the cruise control and ride along, try to find a radio station that plays some kind of music, keep you from being bored. And every once in a while you chat at the other guys on the CB. And then you go another mile. So I thought I'd pop in here and give you a slow down from speeding along at 300 miles an hour. Can carry you through what a gas stop looked like. Each one took probably 15-20 minutes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tell you that if you notice the gas tank is about half full. We tried to stop every 100 to 120 miles. That's a good hour and a half riding, and fill up, get something to drink, I mean, we never knew how far the next gas station was, so we didn't want to be, less than 100 miles on the fuel gauge. So anyway, this is what you do. We did probably 9 or 10 of these a day, just about, well, all the way out there and all the way back. So I'm just going to run you through it high speed, and then we'll bring you out on the other side.